Hello, everybody. I would just like to give a quick, I graded essay number one last night. I'd just like to give people a quick summary, summation of some general observations I had that might be useful not only to explain essay one, but to help you with the future essays as well. So essay one was something of a mixed bag. Now, in general, I've been pretty pleased for the people who have been doing the homeworks. I've thought the homeworks have been going relatively well. The actual essays have been sometimes hit or miss. So as you note, this is just the class statistics for essay number one. We had a high of 98%. We actually had a number of A's in the course. We also had the class average is around 58%, which is obviously not a passing grade. However, that's not a real percentage because they were in any online course. There's going to be a lot of people who just don't turn anything and so get a zero. So that average is a little bit artificially deflated. Here, if you look at the grade distribution, actually 7 people never turned anything in, so obviously that's obvious zero. A's, we had 4 people with 95 and above, 3 people between 90 and 95. Keep in mind, we have no pluses or minuses here at the U of A, so anything 90 and over is pure A. And then we had a pretty even mix, a number of B's, a number of C's. We had a number of people who were below 60%, which is a little bit problematic, although almost easily explainable. One of the things I noted this project one is that a number of people, besides falling short of the basic grading criteria on a rubric on page 3 of the syllabus, they answered both prompts as opposed to just one. This is a content issue. If all you have is 2 pages to write your short essay, it's not a whole lot of space, and you divide that up further between two different prompts, you're not going to be able to get in enough detail to answer the prompt adequately. And so this is actually, I was a little bit disappointed in the people who did 2 prompts because it's clearly stated on the syllabus, write 1 prompt. I also did an announcement on our announcement page on the homepage of D2L, reminding people only 1 prompt, and yet I still had, 5 or 6 people who wrote on both prompts, which is just telling me that A, people weren't revising, B, people weren't looking at the announcements. So, there's not much I can do there. Um, but in general, for everybody who submitted a paper, you can go to your assignments page or to the assignments or grades page, and I have just click on your particular essay, and there will be a number of comments directly on your essay. So check those out. They were meant to be helpful, meant to sort of not only tell you where you fell short on a particular essay, but they're hopefully going to give you advice for how you can improve your essay writing for future essays. So check those out. I do put some time into talking about them. Again, if you have any questions about any kind of feedback that you have received, send me an email. That's what I'm here for. In general, I want to just talk about a few other things. So what I have just recently done is everybody's had a chance to look at page 3 of our syllabus, which has our grading rubric. However, I just posted under our prompts page a short video explanation of that grading rubric, just for those people who feel that they can acquire that information better through hearing it and then seeing it as well, as opposed to just reading through it. So if you think that's going to be helpful, go ahead and check that out. It's only 11 minutes. And it basically goes down through the whole list on page 3 of the syllabus about that grading rubric. About the essay itself, I think the overwhelming majority of people picked prompt 1 about the monstrosity of Grenville's mother. I think there's only maybe 2 people who did the structure of Beowulf. They both ended up doing pretty well, actually. Not sure exactly why that is, so I could probably take a guess. But yeah, so about this, prompt number 1, obviously, for a well-organized essay, in your introduction, I expect you to address the prompt. So you'll be talking about how monstrous is Grendel's mother. That's going to be your thesis. Is she more monstrous or is she more human? And what is the general gist of your argument? That should all appear in your introduction. That's what a thesis is. Some of the things people were really good at is they did talk about Grendel's mother's need for revenge and how human that made her. A few people mentioned the idea of blood price or weir guild, which is just distressing that only a few people mentioned it because I had a short video lecture on it. That was part of the assignments. So again, for these essay prompts, you want to be make sure you reference things that we've done in class. And the idea of the blood price is actually pretty important for Grendel's mother because one of the complaints against Grendel was that he was murdering a whole lot of people, which is bad. What's worse, he wasn't giving compensation to the families of the people he murdered. That was almost worse. And so what you have with Mother is nobody paid her a blood price for her dead son who got his arm ripped off. So in one sense, that kind of makes her more human because she's doing what Grendel himself did not do. So only a few people mentioned the whole idea of the blood price, so you want to make sure you enter all of that. People were pretty good with the other women of Beowulf. Um, some a question like this, it's always obvious when you're sort of glimpsing through it, or people who actually really understand what's going on. Queen Modrith was a bad queen. The others were grievers. They were cupbearers. And there's actually a fair amount of decent analysis of how Grendel's mother related to these women. Um, but yeah, those are some of the big things I wanted to point out with essay number one. Just in the future, make sure, the grading rubric is there to help both of us out. It tells you what I'm looking for, and it gives me something that I can always refer back to when I'm looking is like, okay, how good is this essay? Is it addressing the prompt? Is it organized? Is it using specific textual evidence from the text in order to support that main argument? So grading rubric, check it out for sure. Any questions whatsoever, you let me know. Thank you very much. I greatly enjoyed looking through essay number one, and I look forward to seeing essay number two and what you guys come up with.